Many podcasters say they want to improve their shows. One often overlooked area of improvement is you. Specifically, your ability to tell better stories with your episodes. This mnemonic device can help. Hello and welcome to another podcast Pontifications with me, Evo Terra. One of the most crucial skills for podcasters is the ability to tell stories. In fact, barring some weird edge cases and some experimental creators, I'll go so far as to say that every podcaster is a storyteller, whether they consider themselves to be or not. I'd say that your ability to tell stories is more important than the timbre of your voice. Your ability to tell stories is more important than your equipment stack. And probably, your ability to tell stories is more important than how much money you allocate to marketing your podcast. But a lot of podcasters, perhaps you, see storytelling as an innate skill that, like having a good voice, is something that you either have or you don't. And that's simply not true. Storytelling is definitely a skill that can be acquired. Storytelling is a discipline, with many practitioners offering workshops, classes, and one-on-one trainings. One of those practitioners is Dawn Fraser. I attended a presentation of hers recently on the topic of storytelling. Specifically, her presentation was designed to help podcasters use stories to create riveting podcast content. Now, while I am a capable storyteller, I am neither a teacher of the art of storytelling, nor am I a storytelling coach. So it is with all deference to Dawn that I relate her clever mnemonic device to help you, the serious podcaster, rethink how you can tell better stories on your podcast. So feel free to jot these ideas down and take a few notes as you listen along. But as always, the salient bits of this information I'm going to pass on to you are in the episode details, right in your listening app right there. There's also a link to a written to be read article that contains all of this information for your later perusal. And if you're smartly subscribed to Podcast Pontifications in your inbox, it's already emailed to you. Nice. So Dawn's technique for podcasters has an easy-to-remember acronym. STORY. S-T-O-R-Y. The S is for stakes. The stakes are not the why of the episode, it's the want of the episode. It's the hunger. It's a soon-to-be-fulfilled need. It's an expectation that you, the podcaster, set, either explicitly or implicitly, at the beginning of the story, beginning of your episode. And that keeps your audience locked in place as you continue through. Those are the stakes. Now the T in story, the T is for theme. This is, if you will, the meat of the episode. You've heard me talk before many times about topic and angle, and this is it. This is that, but it's more than just that. It's the actual thing you're doing, right? The nice thing about having your theme, your topic and your angle and where you're taking the story, the nice thing about that is it enables you to really trim the fat, ensuring that all of the parts of your episode fit the framework, this theme, that you've established. But also, only those parts make it into your episode. Really helps you clean house when you have a focus around your theme of the episode. The O is for organization. How will the episode itself unfold? You know that every story has a beginning and a middle and an end, sure, but sometimes for your podcast episodes, it's better often to start in the middle, sometimes even right near the climax, and then guide your listeners through a less obvious path. Another key part of organization is making sure that along the journey, you're answering questions, all the objections that may come up, dealing with any uncertainties, and making sure you're headed towards a loose-end-free conclusion. That's why organization is so important. R is for recreating, specifically if you're retelling a story, because you're not retelling a story, you're recreating it. You're not trying to repeat the story as it happens, you are recreating it. Recreate the experience for those who you are telling the story to now. They weren't there. They need a different structure, a recreation. You have to summarize those points of what really happened and create scenes necessary to make the story work as a podcast episode. This is also the time to remember the old adage, show, don't tell. When you recreate, R is for recreate. And finally, the Y is for you. You are an integral part of every single story that you share. You need to be honest, authentic, and relatable, sure. And you also need to stand in for us, the listening audience. You're our proxy. You get us deeper into the stories you tell on your podcasting episodes. You. Because your name isn't Wikipedia, right? Y is for you. Now, remember that with a very few edge cases and experimental podcasts aside, every podcaster is a storyteller. If you need some help with your storytelling, don't talk to me, but definitely you can try out Dawn's story, S-T-O-R-Y, approach. And if you need more dedicated training, visit our website, Dawn J. Fraser, Fraser.com. There's a link in the podcast listening app you're listening to right now. And she was amazing at that talk. And no, by the way, this was not a sponsored episode, just some excellent advice I heard and a clever mnemonic that I wanted to pass along to you so that you could use this technique to tell better stories on your podcast, which helps make podcasting better. With that, I shall be back tomorrow with yet another podcast Pontifications. Cheers.